Welcome to the Go4Sc2 monthly finals semifinals. Spawning here in the bottom right corner of the map. Goddamn if I haven't seen him in a while. It's gonna be the blue Terran player Happy.
In the top left as the red Zerg gets liquid Snute.
Marine Lord talking some smack in chat. I love this. I love hate Marine Lord and Xenocider and these guys are the egos. It's a big love-hate relationship, but it's like, so, yeah, dude, why aren't you playing in this? He's like, well, because I'm busy playing in WCS, unlike this noob, Happy, who picked me for WCS, which is why I'm in WCS. Man, Marine Lord's actually, I bring him up not because we're casting him now, and not because I want to say anything ill of Happy, but as much as Marine Lord probably won't like to admit his humble beginnings, he was one of the Go4Sc2 back on Against All Authority. He was kind of like that no-name Terran player nobody really knew, but we ended up casting quite a bit of. So I'm personally really happy for his success, and we've seen so much rising talent come and go through Go4Sc2. Again, I'm just thinking back to the early days of like Bunny back when he was on like Vega Squadron and some of these other dudes. But the match we have in front of us is probably some of the more hardcore old school guys when it comes to StarCraft. Happy and Snute have just been around for a very, very long time.
Yeah. We don't see Happy that often because he's kind of like the poster child for what you talk about and people that don't like to cross servers.
Yeah, you could offer Happy $1 million as a second place prize to play in like a cross server event and he wouldn't do it. He just wouldn't.
Yeah. So, that's why we haven't seen him that often, but he's still certainly a great player. I don't know why I said T player. Terran player. But I was wondering why Snute went for a pool first. You go for a pool first, you can make a couple of lings, you can try and deny their natural, more aggressive way to do it. Or you can just go out defensively, like you expect it to be like a Reaper rush on Van Eye, for instance. It's a little more common. So I don't know if he's been playing Happy on ladder, or if he's just had some bad luck with TVZ since the best of 69.
Ugh.
But he did go for a defensive pool, and he didn't have to worry about anything, but he'd cut into his economy just the slightest bit.
So two astonishing things happened simultaneously, and I wonder if one's connected to the other. First off, DeMuslim hosted us, so hello DeMuslim, and thank you very much, DeMuslim fans and whatnot, for tuning in. If you guys are curious where we're at, just a quick recap. This is the Go4Sc2 monthly finals. We're currently in the semifinals match of Snute versus Happy, and it's game number 1. But at the same time, Nathaniel brings up that when he was doing Frag Bite, they didn't even get free McDonald's. And I'm like, you wore that stupid looking shirt without getting free McDonald's? There's gotta be a line you draw somewhere, right? Like,
yeah, I feel like you should have asked for some McDonald's.
They're like, well, you know, they paid us a couple $100. No, but free McDonald's. Come on, man. Like, free or money? Free or money?
Have you ever gotten like McDonald's coupons and just felt kind of weird about taking them?
What do you mean? No, I love McDonald's coupons. Like two can eat for the price of one. Order a Big Mac and get a second one for free. Okay,
well I'll give you all my McDonald's coupons that I get. No, like we only get them like once in a while, and I don't know, like in the mail or something. They'll just be on like the counter when I walk downstairs. I'm just like, wow, it's $2. I only paid $1.
Well, straight up, I think the best deals I've ever gotten were from the A&W coupons. Those guys are like, buy one hamburger, get like 11 for free.
We really don't have any A&W places. I know the root beer we have, but
interesting.
I only recently found out they're a restaurant.
I wonder if that's a Canadian thing or just a where you live
I don't think
thing.
so. I think it's just where I think. 'Cause there's also like, we don't have any Bojangles where I live, but you go down south and there's like tons of Bojangles. So.
Bojangles are what people call their nuts. So, yeah, if you go south, I hope there's a lot of Bojangles.
I mean, let me just make sure I'm saying it right, because
Otherwise,
no, I was saying it right. Okay, I'm just making sure. No, it's called Bojangles. So I had no idea that's what you called a person's nuts. That's news to me.
It's another word. It's just another word. It's like nuts.
Is it really?
Nuts is another word for nuts.
I mean,
no one calls it a scrotum.
That's true. But like Bojangles is like another. It's like just like a very like southern word that means something else. But anyways, it's just like a famous chicken and biscuits place. I don't know. So that's why it's down south. Chicken and biscuits.
Alright, well, the Reaper unfortunately did die, and it didn't get to get the second gas, it didn't get to get the layer timing. I'm not sure if Happy will go for a scout via a drop, or maybe just rely on a scan. But the thing about Happy that we can, you know, even though I think seriously, it's been almost like 3 months since I've last seen him play firsthand. Happy is a player who doesn't really play a lot of different play styles. Like, for example, what I mean is, while we're willing to watch somebody like Bunny play a bunch of different variations of the same build in the best of 69, Happy would have played the same build every game no matter what in like that best of 69. So I mean, Hellion Banshee, pretty standard for him.
That would have just made the best 69, you know, so much more fun.
No, oh god, no.
Same thing over and over again. Well, we already had that happen, because it was inevitable that 10 times you would have the same build. There's only so many builds you can do. And even that was kind of frustrating to watch.
Well, back at home, the Banshee is quickly abandoned. You get the one out, and not going to invest into it further, so... Mech, madam. Now, Happy doesn't always do mech, keep in mind, guys. When he does do mech, this is not exactly a goodie style, but he's kind of like in between, I think, like a goodie and a Korean when we see Happy play mech, right? Like, Korean players who play mech, they get really aggressive, they push around 140, 130 supply, and they'll try and get in their opponent's face really quick. Goodie, for those who don't know the context of that, hopefully you do, but he's like the most defensive turtle player in the world. Happy's kind of like an in-between of the two, I feel, when it comes to his mech.
Okay. We already have roaches coming out for Snutes. Just, you know, they already chose that tech path. It's gonna work out well against mech.
His
roaches,
sick.
though, like, what the hell?
I don't know, but they're scouting everything, and I love it.
What is he scouting for, though? I mean, is he scouting for, like, a hidden base, or...?
I don't know, but those roaches live with 1 health each. What the hell?
Okay.
Okay, well, whatever he was scouting for, he doesn't find, but he does gain knowledge. I mean, it's so silly to say it like this, but he does gain the knowledge of knowing that there's nothing else on the map to worry about, that he has, in fact, seen everything there is to see. So, no proxy starports, no hidden command centers, no fast fourths, much less a third. Again, Happy's kind of a bit of a slow player, but his third is up and ready to transfer.
Yeah. Ready to go. At Snutes, he's getting up to that pretty perfect drone count. He'll probably get a fourth before he decides to attack too heavily. He's just going to start banking money, plain and simple. And I gotta imagine, I mean, if he's not going to do the only roach attack soon, then he's just going to wait and get the Hydras and possibly Vipers. Or a Spire. Cool. Honestly, was not expecting that. We've seen some people do this. This is kind of like the flip of what you usually do. Usually it's like 2-base Spire into Roaches. Or 3-base Spire into Roaches. Like whatever, but it's against mech. To have it go from Roaches to a Spire can sometimes really catch the mech player off guard.
Sometimes. I don't think Happy's going to be in any trouble, though.
Yeah, I don't think so, because like, you already automatically get Thors.
Well, he's like walled off with a turret, too, which is kind of funny to see. Tank sadly not quite in range to defend against the roaches, so he's going to have to cancel a lot here. It's a mild annoyance, because roaches are quite strong and they take a while to clean up, but it's the point of the unit, I suppose. We do have another attack gearing up to come from the right side. We'll see if Snute can catch him off guard. Happy did reposition most of his forces. Has to cancel that CC. A couple of Widow Mines will get a decent shot here. Nice splash. Actually, the Hellies can probably hunt these down with how low they are.
Oh, and the Banshee helping out too. They don't really want to turn around.
They definitely take a better angle of attack on the splash damage, but yeah. Still no Mutas out just yet. I mean, there's about 3 to 5 Vikings probably going to be available by the time they hatch. There's already Thors. I kind of feel like Snoot's best bet would be to save for the Mutas a little bit later and just keep going heavy with the ground at the moment, as there's not many tanks, just a lot of Thors. But his question is whether he knows that or not.
Well, I guess not. I mean, like the Spire's done. He's up to was going up to almost 85 drones here. He's on 4 or 5 bases. This is surprisingly passive with how many units Snute had on early on. He's been using them for mostly harassments. Not really any big attacks coming through here. And he's picking up a lot of money. He should go into more drones. What is Snute doing? Why no roaches, no Nidas, no Hydrosten, no infestation pit?
I think he's counting on Happy to play the way that you would kind of expect him to play, where he's a little bit of a slower mech player, not going super pushes, doesn't have a lot of Hellion run-bys running around the map. I don't think he even has Blue Flame. No, he doesn't. I mean, he got the 4th a lot faster than I expected him to be honest. But it is one of those things where, again, Happy's not exactly the guy who's going to be pushing around 130 supply.
I guess that's proven here and now.
Well, I mean, it's not. This isn't, like I said. Happy plays like the same playstyles always. Like it's something Snute's gonna know just from having probably bumped into him ladder once or twice in the last month or two.
I guess Snute really does know him well, because I mean, I'm not even playing and I feel uncomfortable with how few units he has and the supply that he's at while banking up so much of this money. But he's saying, like, you're probably gonna attack me for another 2-3 minutes. Well, then I'll just be as greedy as possible. And unfortunately for Coda, you can't be too greedy. It's not like Cactus Valley where you would take 3/4 of the map.
Sorry, you were saying?
What?
This base is so greedy, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, but it's not like, I was trying to say that it's not, you can't take like 16 bases on Coda. There are only so many bases that you're going to be able to take before they reach you. So Happy has 4, and he's happy on 4.
Ooh, you gabba gabba.
But if Snute really wanted to take the entire map, well, that doesn't sound nearly as extreme as it would on like Cactus Valley or like Alterzim. Like that would be a lot of the map.
Notice he is actually taking a lot of the map. The creep going everywhere. Queens in the middle, Queens in the south, Queens in the north, and this extra base that's coming down. For Happy's sake, you can play Terran on 4. You can transition the era as we see happening on 4 bases. You get Ravens, you get Battlecruisers, whatever your heart desires, and you can win a game versus Zerg doing this. The problem is, though, Snute's going to have a little bit more money in the bank than normal. Usually, I think by the time you see that first Battlecruiser pop, Zerg players hit more like 3K, 4K, not 6K, 5K.
Yeah. I guess this is why I feel a little just like, oh, this doesn't feel right. It's because that with the Swarm... Yeah, that's a little interesting. But with the Swarm host change, we've been seeing Zergs just in general be a lot more pressed for time, where they look like they feel pressed for time when dealing with mechs. So a lot more Roach, Hydra, Viper attacks. And then, they kind of look confused if that doesn't work. So to let things just go the way that they've gone, like not really attacking at all or anything like that, it's still just dangerous. I mean, sure, he's gonna have a huge bank, and he's gonna have the best units he can get, and he probably should also have better upgrades, but I think he's forgotten about them. Which is, I mean, Happy's also gonna be pretty good on his side.
Happy, by the way, is going really heavy into the Ravens. I wasn't sure which direction this would go. It does feel like it's kind of one or the other. You either get really fast battlecruisers or a lot of Ravens early on. Ravens are kind of the unbeatable force right now. Unlike Legacy of the Void, Zerg don't have that huge benefit of Parasitic Bomb.
Yeah. Well, they've lost a lot of tools to deal with this, or haven't gained those tools yet, I guess is the other way to say it. But, Swarm Host, at the very least, would provide a constant distraction, a constant, attack point that 6 tanks had to be left behind for, so it did make other items attack available. Without any pressure at all, Happy is getting he's getting a maxed out perfect army, and Snute still has not really shown us what his plan is. He's getting all the upgrades again.
Okay, hear me out, right? Snute's plan. Okay. He's like, look, I'll just mine out the entire map. And then, we go. Then I'll GG afterwards, and I'll just be embarrassing for Happy.
Be like, I showed you.
Yeah, obviously, I don't think that's the real plan. I do imagine. I thought this was going to go more towards air tech with him, but kind of plating finishing up in a moment. He's still investing in air. It's funny to say, but I'm kind of okay. There's the Ultras. Never mind. As you say, I was wondering if you might pull like a Ghost User and just go for like this ridiculous Mutalisk max out, right? Like not just a switch, but the craziest switch you've ever seen. But at 14 Ultralisks, I don't know about this, Zombie Grub. This is 14 Ultralisks that aren't really gonna have support outside of Queens. I guess transfuses are good, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this.
It all is going to depend on positioning. I have to imagine that Snute isn't going to just barrel through, like, not paying attention to what he's barreling through. Like, He's not going to try and run past all the planetaries and attack, because I think that's when he just loses all the ultras, no problem. Wow, that's a scary sight.
Yeah, those all came from the same base too. That's like the worst part.
Seriously. But I think what he would want to do...
I love how he had to scan to just confirm, like, was that real? Did I just really see that?
Yeah. I think Snute would have wanted Happy to try and take out of their base and move out to protect it, and then that's when he pounces on them. But now that Happy knows that there are that many ultras, he'll be a little more cautious about taking new bases.
Yeah. Man. Ay is what I should say. There's just not only going to be a lot of damage to the Ultralisks, they don't really have the greatest armor upgrades yet, so they're kind of vulnerable, as weird as that is to consider. But with like 9 transfuses per Ultralisk maybe available, I don't know how this is going to go. Ravens in the sky can't really do too much because secret missiles are not that effective versus Ultralisks. Plus they can just outrun the damage. Point defense drones obviously do nothing, and auto turrets can maybe help a little bit, but if anything they just buy time. They don't really do damage.
Well, here's the problem with ultras. You can't break. Yeah, you can't break buildings basically.
Yeah, you used to have like great damage versus buildings with an Ultralisk.
Oh yeah.
I think the problem is this for Snute. He comes down to having no armor. I mean, 4 armor on an Ultralisk, these things are not exactly being too durable. Even the ones over here got chased away. It's like 1 tank on the planetary.
It did seem like he just forgot that he was supposed to be like getting ground upgrades too, because it certainly wasn't a lack of bank that stopped him from getting it. It just seemed like he forgot.
Those transfuses have run out now, by the way. He kept these ultras alive forever, but only because of the grace of those queens.
I don't. Okay, well, there's the muta transition. All right then. I don't want to try and make Snute like out like as like a guy who's not good, okay? Because it's obviously not the case. But it does seem like he's kind of wondering and scratching his head, like, what do I do in this situation? It almost looks like he let it get to this situation just so he could have practice dealing with it. Like, yeah, I could have Roach Hydra Vipered him, but I really don't know how to deal with this.
45 Mutalisks, yo, like,
and they're gonna have really good upgrades. They have better upgrades than the Ultras.
Right, but here's my beef with this. I think 45 is too low. I know that sounds stupid, but with the money he's got left, 45 is, my opinion, far too low.
He's I'm not saying 90 drones, so...
Yeah, I'm not saying he needs to go, like, 100 Mutalisks deep like Ghost User styles, but he's so limited by his army cap. Oh like, god, the splash damage! Yeah, there's no way point defense drones. It's just immunity. He's just throwing out 1,000,000 point defense drones and doesn't give a fuck.
Dude, I don't think this is the way you're gonna win. You're gonna have to try a 3rd time, and it's gonna be back in the ultras. The problem is that neither the ultra attack or the muta attack did anything. They didn't kill the Thors,
you know what?
So the mutas did more damage. They didn't kill the tanks, so then the ultras do more damage.
While this was going on, Snute brought those queens to the front line to transfuse, and he wasn't injecting. He's got 20 larvae to work with. Barely.
Well, that's fine. Ultras.
Okay.
20 larvae for 20 ultras.
No, but seriously, I mean, like, if you want to get Lings to max out to go on the side of this, if you want a more mutas, I mean, there's just so much Snute can't do, and it would be such a shame to die with 7,000 minerals in the bank, but that might just happen.
Yeah, but it won't be a larva problem. That's not going to be the main issue with this game. I think the main issue is that Snute just legitimately does not know what to do. It's like, I could try this, but okay, that's not working. I could try this, but okay, that didn't work either.
I think tech swaps would have been really great. Go Broodlords to one side, Ultras to the other.
But he tried. I mean, like, even Broodlords might have been okay, but there were so many Vikings and Ravens. Like, he tried to tech swap. He didn't do anything to make a tech swap good.
So my thing I would get test with that is when he still had like 20 queens, rather than slam the ultras with transfuses, get a couple of vipers, abduct the things one at a time maybe. I mean, I don't know. It's mech has been so dominant ever since we've seen that change, and a lot of what Zerg players have been doing are these all-ins to not let mech players, or at least known mech players, get to this late game scenario. But you know, Swarm Host before, Ultralisk now, whatever flavor of the month unit it is. Ravens are really what this comes down to being the core. I can't break those units.
Yeah. I mean, this is, again, if he is taking out Thors and tanks and, you know, maybe the queens are taking out Ravens, then a muta transition is good. But he's only taking out buildings, really.
And it's like, oh, you build a planetary fortress. Let me just build 5 more, as he's been doing consistently.
Yeah.
I know Snute has beaten mech players before. I've seen him do it firsthand. But you're right. Like, this just seems like so far gone at this point. Oh my god, these are all planetaries.
Yeah. There's one thing to say about this game that is not against Snute, because we're kind of ragging on him, is that Happy has never really had that big of a bank. He's not up to 6,000 because he's building so many command centers.
Okay, but going back on things for just a moment here, thinking on it, like, there are a lot of planetary fortresses, and that's hilarious to look at, but again, where's the Blinding Cloud? Where's the Abduct on those Thors to pick them up one at a time?
I think he's not going Vipers because there's so many Vikings. It used to be that that would absolutely do it. You know, you would put swarm hosts down. That would ensure that they needed a certain amount of tanks at the very least, so that would dip into the Raven supply, and then you would be able to pull the Vipers or use the Vipers to abduct whatever you do, either into your own army or into your SAG defense, and then hopefully any Vikings that chased would also die to the Spore Crawlers or the Hydras or the Queens. But without that solid defense line, I mean, he has Spore Crawlers, but he doesn't really have swarm hosts. I don't know if it's really still possible. It's still also forcing Happy to come to him.
Yeah. For those asking to see the resources lost tab, that's this right here, guys, if you're unfamiliar with our overlay and UI. I actually don't even know what the default tab is for it, because we never have to use it. No, Shift L's units lost. Units lost is still pretty crazy to look at, too. Happy's lost very little this game. But Snute finally breaks the base. It only took 3 waves of maxing out on Ultras to do it. God damn.
Oh dear God. I think that this is kind of like a point of no return, where it's like, I think you know, experimenting 10 minutes ago maybe gets you somewhere, but experimenting now is just gonna, I don't know, like, just be for science. Like, did this work, did this not? It's not necessarily going to win you the game. Because, you know, getting that Locust upgrading, going for Swarm Hosts as they are now, could have been an interesting response as opposed to doing Roach Hydra Viper. You could have gone to the main, and you could have gotten the, you know, the outlying bases and really torn down some buildings.
What I'm a little curious about is not just the investors coming in, but he researched Neuroparasite long time ago. I have to choke again. So it's all you for a minute.
Oh damn, well I was gonna ask you a question, but I'll hold off on that then. The upgrades are about to finish. He did take a long time. That was beautiful, Mayor, right there. To get up here, you know, those Ultras, the first wave, are not well upgraded. I don't think that would have helped that much. They still would have been attacking planetaries, but I mean, it's still a point that could have been better. But it's just, you know, to try and mine out the base and have yourself win that way, I mean, that, I think maybe that would have been a thing, but Happy's doing a decent enough job pushing forward slowly but surely.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm back. What do you think about these investors, though?
Well, you brought up Neuroparasite, and I was gonna ask you, like, you know...
Oh, well, fuck that, never mind.
Oh, hey. Secret Missiles do, I think one of them maybe got off. I'm not sure. One of the, well, this one was Infested Terran, not that big of a deal. But there's a lot of Infested Terrans. Secret Missiles destroy the Ultras, God.
Well, the Infested Terrans, while they don't do a lot of damage, the thing is there's just so many of them, and whether it's a Raven or whether it's a Thor, neither of these are units that deal well with massive quantities of units. So as silly as that seemed, and as crazy as that was, it did wipe out a lot of the Thors, I think out of not many of the Ravens, in fairness, but it wasted a lot of their energy on those Seekers. So, again, both players are trading energy for energy as the primary source of damage. I just think the Infestors are going to trade a little bit better. And if Happy makes the mistake of clumping even once, that's everything gone for him. He's got a huge gas bank, and that's great. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
When did he build 50 turrets in the main? Is this the Villa or is this Happy right now? God damn. Okay, well, his production's safe from air harass, that's for sure. But I was going to say, if he clubs up even once, look at Happy's bank. It's not that great. Honestly, remaxing is going to be a real pain. Not to mention his production is slow. It's not like a Zerg player can just instantly make 40 units at once if they'd like.
Yeah, I think this is probably the way to go. You hopefully find a nice little balance point where you have enough Fungals left over and they don't have enough Seeker Missiles left over.
So constantly pulling back, trying to dot out those Seeker Missiles.
He's running out of energy. I think he's almost entirely out of energy.
Actually, yeah. Clicking on the, there's about 4 or 5 secret missiles at a quick glance.
He just needs one, one time when they clump up like this, and I think the infestors are gonna be able to do it. I mean, the infestors, there's still like plenty of them with fungals.
Unfortunately, these mass quote-unquote infested Terrans aren't cutting it because there's not as many as there were before. The energy just isn't there to plop out at a 15, 16 infestors. But Ultralists are still reigning supreme down here to the south. He's kind of getting sandwiched in, as weird as it is, between these two bases. There's ways out, there's ways around. Neural parasites on some of the Thors. I mean, why the hell not? It kind of does if you get enough of them, but not quite the case.
Oh god, a lot of his infestors die there too, and his mineral bank is great, but his gas bank is quite low, and it's used on ultras.
Did Snute? I'm not sure if I just saw that correctly. Maybe I misrealized what was going on. It looked like he tried to transform one of the Thors before he lost the neural parasite, though. And it was like halfway, and then went back when the neural wore off. I don't know if that was what I saw.
It wouldn't even be useful. You'd want it to splash the Vikings.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This is weird to see. Snute's Snute's got a crazy mineral bank, but he's out of gas, and that's where this game gets really difficult for a player who's going to be relying on Lings for the rest of the game against a mech player who could just produce blue flame hellbats.
This is so. God. I do want to point out again that Snute, he kind of let this happen.
Yeah, I mean, like, I love Snute, I respect Snute, but I don't think 11 waves of Ultras maxing out is the way to go about this.
Yeah, well that, plus there's, like, not doing anything for the 10 minutes. Like, being able to read your opponent and being as greedy as possible is good up until a point. You know, like, if you let them also be as greedy as they want to be, then you know, who has the advantage, really? And apparently it wasn't Snute. So I think next game, since Happy does everything similar, the same, every game, Snute will want to try and attack a lot earlier with Roach Hydra. Or, I mean, he could also just try and, like, if he's going to be a little bit passive again, then just try and shoot up straight to Broodlords before the Viking and Raven count control.
Neural parasites again. Point defense is going down because he knows those Thors are trying to target the Ravens. I kind of wish we'd see more than 1 or 2 neural parasites. Their range is kind of hard to really use, but
missiles actually hit this time. The infestors did not move out.
Is the flank gonna work? Is the flank gonna work? Infested Terrans on the front line, the Ultras come from behind, Lings and whatever on top of these Thors. Battle cruisers are being made behind this though, and Snute actually very much has no way to deal with the battle cruisers. There's no money for corruptors. Maybe mass queens? Question mark? Like, I don't know.
I wonder what would have happened if these infested Terrans had all their upgrades, like Wings Liberty.
Oh,
like, I know someone.
They were broken as hell. There's no way.
Well, they were broken for other reasons other than just they had good upgrades.
You know what would be good, actually? What if you could do that, but it had to be like a hive tech requirement? Like you had to research something hive tech based that said, oh, infested Terrans now benefit from upgrades.
I mean, I guess.
I think just giving them upgrades is a little BS, to be honest.
I really don't think that they would affect matchups that often. We don't usually see infestors and anything except these very late game scenarios.
Yeah, but it's like giving somebody 3/3 Marines versus like no upgrade Marines. I mean, it's just
what?
It's terrible.
When? How? What?
The infested Terrans?
Yeah, they'd have 3/3, but only after they actually got 3/3. They don't come with 3/3.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is like, okay, hang on, we'll talk. It doesn't really matter right now. Battle cruisers are gonna get on top of the Lings. They're doing what they can. I mean, Lings are really the only things Snute can keep making. Some spore crawlers coming out too, but battle cruisers just Yamato those down over time. I guess we finally have some Vipers in play, which is kind of nice.
I don't see any other way that like Snute beats this.
I don't know. Zombie Grove. They're both kind of shit in the bed when it comes to income at this point.
I guess. I mean, if he has another Remax potential, yeah, okay, maybe he will win after a fight like that.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. Like, between Vipers, Infestors, Queens, there's a lot more energy-based free stuff on Snute's side. No, it's not Swarm Hosts, and it's not Broodlords with infinite free units, but it's still free. Whereas it's just Ravens that are going to be the cost-efficient ones, and they're goddamn good at doing it, but I'm just saying, like, I think there's more potential for Snute, but I'm definitely feeling favor to Happy.
Did Happy just like mule drop or something? I could have sworn his bank was only 1,000 minerals, and then it showed up to like 4,000.
I don't see anywhere.
Oh, no matter. He used it. He's back down in minerals.
Oh,
okay,
hey,
his Fletcher's gonna go down.
Gotta give a shout out to Passive Crimes, by the way. That guy just resubbed for 11 months in a row. One more month, and you get that Part 2 coin, man.
Nice of ducks.
Oh,
Oh, and Neural.
Yeah, Neural on the battle cruisers is great. So Yamato with the battle cruisers as well. Oh, so sick.
That's pretty nice.
I don't know if it's enough. We
Like
got Secret Missiles flying on both sides of the field. Unfortunately, Snute is a little clumped up, though, and taking a lot of these Secret Missiles at face value. But Neural Parasiting once again on top of the battle cruisers, trying to focus down the ones that are shooting.
No supply. There's no supply for Snute. Like, it's in these queens and well, not drones.
Oh, you're right. He's got no supply. Like, it's stupid to look at, but he holds this fight. GG, well played. Like, that was... Oh, jeez. That was like one of those games, right? Just one of those games. But, congratulations to Happy as he takes a game.